Driving through Westwood Square, you can't see the roots that run generations deep in this community, or what some say is their DNA of social justice.
We've had to fight for everything, but it's how you fight. You know, you fight with knowledge, you fight with facts.
Manuel Garza should know he was part of the 1968 student walkout at Edgewood High School in the city's poor school district. The legal battle that followed over school funding equity isn't over yet. But even before then, lifelong residents here had heard about the indignities suffered by their Mexican immigrant ancestors. They'd been among the first to settle here in what became the Westwood Square neighborhood of today.
Some of the greatest people here who lived, who had history, who struggled but survived and fought.
It's why neighborhood historian Jesusita Rios says so many residents here were vocal and not afraid to speak up because back then they needed to, except for Kelly Field around the start of World War I.
Era puro monte, so it was nothing but woods and of course the cornfields.
Flat land with fertile soil may have been ideal for the Belgian immigrant farmers who came here, but when it was subdivided for housing, it made for a lousy drainage. Although the area was spared the death and devastation of the Great Flood of 1921 on the near west side, Castroville Road, where Las Palmas Mall is now, was notorious for vehicles flooding out.
That rain, if it rained heavily, would come all the way to your door.
The drainage on the west side was so bad, the neighborhood here was called El Barrio del Charco because of the mud puddles. Yet at one time, drinking water had to be hauled in, and there were no sewer lines, much less paved streets and sidewalks.
And for too many, this was home. Dilapidated housing built with anything people could find. It wasn't until the city began to slowly annex the area that they began to see some improvements. Until finally, in the mid-'80s, Manuel Garza says the people's patience had run out.
Let's get this thing done. And so we did.
Still, he says it took years. But by then, communities organized for public service had become a strong ally. Made up of neighborhoods, churches, and others, cops also took on the area's deplorable conditions.
That was the perfect storm that planted the seed that allowed cops to flourish. People were angry.
They say the long overdue drainage projects and other improvements came only after people demanded money already in the budget be spent on the west side. It's a history lesson that Jesusita Rios says today's young people shouldn't forget.
They need to know what it's taken to get to where we are, and they need to know the value of it.
In the minds of the city and the neighborhood association, it's Westwood Square, but for many others it will always be Edgewood Square.
We're Edgewood. We're Edgewood strong.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Hello, everybody. Stefania Jimenez here. Thank you so much for watching KSAT's YouTube channel. Keep up to date with all of San Antonio's top news, weather, and so much more by clicking the like and subscribe buttons below. And once again, thanks for watching KSAT.